Hey, what's going on, y'all? In this audio, I want to talk about my upbringing and the type of women that my dad dealt with and how I interacted with them and how his choice of women affected me in my life. Now, I don't like to make videos talking solely about me, but in this particular video, I want to tell you a little bit about how my dad's choice of women had a great impact on my life. And now, at the age that I am now, I understand why. So I'm going to give you a brief little bit of history of a few things that you probably didn't know about me, because I don't put it out there like that. And I'm not a testimonial kind of person to, I don't care how miraculous. I had a lot of miraculous things happen to me in my life, but I don't put it out there like that. Because for what? I don't want praise and I don't need it. But starting with my mom first, she's the first witch that I was introduced to in my life. When I was conceived back in 1986, well, it was 1985 when my mom found out that she was pregnant with me. She tried to kill me. When she found out that she was pregnant with me, my dad wasn't happy about the news. My dad was angry at the news. He was so angry that he took a fork and he threw it at my mom and tried to hurt my mom. He also took a 40 bottle and he threw it while he was outside downstairs. She lived on like the second floor. He took a 40 bottle and he threw it through her apartment. This is how furious this dude was. He was telling her that she better get an abortion. What my mom decided to do to get an abortion was my first introduction to witches before I was even born. My mom went to a witch doctor, and it was a woman who put together some type of potion that involved like a raw egg and some other type of concoction. And when you drink this, I guess in less than like 24 hours, the baby's supposed to slip right out. Well, my mom took the concoction and I still survived. And according to her, that's a rare thing. This concoction always works. Well, I didn't die. I lived. And I came out. I was born in 1986, and I was a miraculous little baby from day one, okay? I got hit by a car at the age of 4 years old. I was riding a tricycle in the middle of the street with my friend, and I got hit in the head by a car. And I got hospitalized for a while, and I had stitches over my right eye where it tore me up very, very bad. Well, at that same age of 4 years old, I also had got my neck rolled up in a window where it killed me. And they had to fly me to the Philadelphia Emergency Medical Center and to fight for my life. Well, I was dead. I was pronounced dead. But miraculously, I just came back to life. And when I came back to life, I had a story for all the doctors, and I had a story for all of my family surrounding me. And I told them about the angels. I told them about my visit with the angels. I told them all about the conversation that I had with angels. Okay? From there forward, my life was miraculous. Around the same age, 4 years old, in my mom and my grandmom's apartment, there was a picture of Martin Luther King on the wall. No one had told me or any of us, my brothers and sisters, who that was in that picture. In the middle of everybody chit-chatting in the living room, I stood up and I pointed at the picture and I said, "That's Martin Luther King." And the picture simultaneously as I said that, it fell to the floor and shattered. Everyone was astonished and in awe, like, what? I found out years later, way later on, why the Most High led me to do that. And what was it about Martin Luther King that picture wasn't worthy of being on that wall? And why it was better off on the ground, broken, because of the role that Martin Luther King played in integrating our people with devils. Skipping fast forward, my mom likes to sit around and talk to people about all of the miraculous things that I've done in my life. Shoot, anytime if I have a girlfriend, some chick that I'm dating, whoever, I bring her over her house, my mom would sit there and for hours talk this girl's ear off about how special her son is and all of the miraculous things. He's an angel. He's an angel. And she would always tell the story. But my mom's the same one that told me that she hates me and she hopes I die. Okay? Now, the wickedness inside of my mom can't allow her to love me and really care about me. I have a brother who is her favorite sibling of us all. And she feels that she has to make a choice, one or the other. She feels like she has to pick one. Okay, and I've never been that pick. I've always been the last one on her list. I've always been. And as a matter of fact, the day that she told me that she hates me and hoped that I died was because she opened my check one day, and I asked her why did she open my check, and she said that my brother instructed her that she should do it. And so when I asked my brother, why would you tell her to open my check, he told me that that didn't happen, that wasn't the case. So later on that day, me and her were at the bar, and he called my phone, and I told him that I was with mom at the bar, and he said, yo, put me on speakerphone. Mom, why would you tell him that I told you to open up his check? She said, nah, I know I didn't. He's lying. I didn't tell him to do. I didn't say that you told me to do. I'm like, yes, you did. Yes, you did. She said, he's lying. And that's when she looked at me and she said, I hate you. I hope you fucking die. All because I was getting her baby mad at her because I was told the truth. Okay? So me and her relationship never worked. It never worked. I mean, she hits me up every so often. She hits me up every now and then, talking about she misses me, and it's bullshit. She don't like me. She can't stand me. It's the truth that's in me. She would probably like to like me, love me, but she just can't. It's because of who I am. So anyway, that relationship between her and my dad failed way back when. That relationship failed in like, I'll say probably like 1988. When I was like 2 years old, her and my dad broke up. My dad got with another woman who turned out being my stepmom. He married her in 1991. Now this woman wound up hating my guts too. And it didn't take her long to come into the scene and literally express her hatred for me at a very, very early age. I was probably like maybe 6 or 7 years old, and she was already expressing her hatred for me, whooping me, putting her hands on me, and treating me like shit at a very early age. This woman was wicked, and she had bad vibes about her. Even to me being a young child, I could always pick up and sense vibes, okay? So for years, I mean, she hung in there for a long time, all the way up until I was about a teenager before her and my dad had broke up. I was probably about 17 years old when they finally when they broke up. But here's the thing. She couldn't stand me. She would whoop me. She would abuse me. She would call the school to see what kind of bad news she can just get on me on her leisure time, like on her break. She would call the school to just find out what she could find out about me. What did he do wrong? When was he late? She would check out my tardy slips to see how many times he was late, and just to have a reason to whoop my ass. She didn't check up on nobody else as much as she did me. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing about this woman. Ever since I was a young child, I didn't like eating her food. Okay? And listen, I wasn't the kind of child that didn't like eating. But I tell you what, I didn't like eating her food. All right? When my dad cooked, I licked the plate. I'd eat every bit of what that man cooked, yo. I loved when my dad cooked. When that woman cooked, I did not want to eat. I didn't want to eat it. And it's not that she was making bad food. She didn't make bad food. She made things like, I can still remember all the dishes that she used to make. She used to make spaghetti a lot. She used to sometimes make lasagna. She would make like brown rice with brown beans, fried chicken, whether it was a mixture of fried legs or fried wings. She would make pork chops, fried. She would make stewed chicken with rice and stuff like that. She would make collard greens and she would always make like 2 vegetables with a side of meat. You feel me? And listen, I didn't like her food. I didn't want to eat it. I didn't want nothing to do with it, to the point where I would lie and say that I ate when I didn't. It got to the point where she would grill me about eating. Did you eat? And I'd be like, yeah, I ate. She would say, what plate did you use? She started to catch on to me, and I'd be like, I washed my plate. She'd be like, you're lying. You're lying. I'd be like, nah, I did. To the point where one time I was lying, and she was grilling me so hard that my dad came and was like, yo, man, did you eat? I was like, yeah, I ate. He was like, all right, he ate. Let it go. And just let me off the hook like that, because the way that she was grilling me so bad, he couldn't bear to just watch her just grill his little, like, I think I was like 6 or 7-year-old son. He couldn't bear to watch that witch just grill me like that. He seen that she was weighing in on me like a real true witch that just wanted me. She was thirsty to beat my ass. And I lied, and I'm pretty sure that my dad knew that I lied. And I'll never forget it. I used to feed my plates to the dog. I used to put my shit at the bottom of the trash. Sometimes I put that shit in my pocket and go throw it somewhere. I did not want to eat her food. I did not. And the sad thing is I went years and years having to eat that shit. I would nibble on it for years. I would nibble on that shit. I hated it. But when it came to like making a bowl of cereal, I tear some cereal up. Breakfast was my favorite meal because she didn't really cook it. She was a witch, okay? And she hated me, hated my guts, okay? While the relationship wound up failing, and my dad wound up being single. Okay, now here's the thing though. My dad used to beat my ass whenever she would do her little research on me. My dad would really beat my ass. You couldn't tell my dad, yo, she don't like me. If you try to tell him, if you went to my dad and want to tell him, listen, nigga, she don't like me, he would bust your ass just for telling him that. He would disown you and bust your ass just for telling. This nigga was ride or die for these witches that he had in his life. Any kind of woman that he had in his life, he was ride or die. You couldn't say nothing negative about her. You couldn't. You could be telling the honest to God truth and he know it. He would never let you know that he knows that you're telling the truth. He'd just bust your ass. Okay, so one day though, when this man was single after she had left him, me and him was sitting in the yard. Now I'm a grown man at this time. I'm like 18 years old, 19. We sitting in the yard and we're having some beers. Me and my dad, we having some beers and just chilling. He's single at the time. You know what he has the nerve to say? He was feeling like he wanted to have a conversation. He was feeling hurt at the fact that she left him. So now he wanted to talk shit on her. He was saying, man, she looked like a rat anyway, didn't she? He said, tell the truth, didn't she look like a damn rat? I'm sitting here just laughing at this dude because I see what he's trying to do. I see what he's trying to do, and I'm not playing into it because I know what kind of nigga you are. Like, nigga, if somebody ever would have said anything about that woman, you would have shed blood. And so I'm just laughing him off. Like, yo, he's like, shit, to tell the truth, didn't she look like a damn rat? Snaggletooth, didn't she? All bony and shit. She ain't have no ass. She just had titties. I ain't no breasts, man. I like big asses. He said, all she had was big breasts. That woman ain't had nothing that I wanted. She was ugly as hell. You can admit it. She looked like a rat, ain't he? He's trying to get me to admit. And I'm just laughing at him. And then you know what he says? He said, she ain't like you for nothing. He said, I'm telling you. He said, She didn't like you for shit. She did not like you. And now my brain is going 100 miles an hour. I'm thinking, you bastard. I'm thinking in my mind, this alcohol really got you talking. You are fucking admitting that you knew that she didn't like me? Yeah, she never liked you. She ain't never liked you. Ever since you was little, she had it out for you. You fucking bastard. You mean to tell me you stuck with this bitch all them years and you knew? You knew? You knew? You didn't break up with her or nothing, nigga? Nothing? You didn't come to me and have a little small talk with me? Tell me to hang in there, keep my head up? Nothing, nigga? You just dealt with her all the way up until she was done with you? And now you want to come to me and tell me? I don't know how much of my family actually know this story right here, yo. But this fucking happened. What a weak bitch. I would never forgive that nigga for that shit right there. I would never forgive that nigga for that shit right there. I went through hell. He act like he never saw it. Shame on that fucking pussy. But anyway, so he winds up getting into another relationship after only being single for probably like 2 years and going through a divorce. This dummy gets with another woman, man, who had bad vibes from the rip. Oh, and let me show y'all a picture before I move on to this next chick. Let me show y'all a picture of this witch that I had for a stepmom who hated me all my life. Here she is. Look at that bitch. Now you know that they got us thinking that these so-called Jews, the Jewish, are the ones that really got the witch women. But this is a black woman right here. And you can't tell me that she don't have Jewish blood going through her body. You can't tell me that she don't look like a witch. You should see her mom. Her mom was a wicked, evil old lady. That evil old lady didn't like me neither. She did not like me. Couldn't stand me. All because I was real. Look at this witch. Yeah, this is the bitch who my dad let drag me through the mud all my life. And so anyway, he wound up getting into another relationship with another witch. And this witch is the one that's responsible for taking his ass out. For literally killing him. And this witch couldn't stand me neither, because she stuck out like a sore thumb. I seen the evilness in her, and she seen the light in me. And I'm telling you, there's not one woman that, including my mom, that my dad was ever with that didn't hate my guts. Not one woman. And I promise you that. And they had it out for me, and they had it out for him. They never wanted me and him to have a good, close relationship, because they knew that I was going to bring him to the light, and they just could not have that. My dad fell victim to Jezebel women, and the last woman that he was just now with, she laid that man down. She laid him to rest. I mean, he ate her cooking for years. He ate her cooking, and he took that woman and separated himself from the whole entire family. My granddaddy told him. My grandpa told him, "Now, I don't trust that woman, man. Don't leave her alone, bro. Don't do it." That woman's own dad told my dad, "Yo, don't marry her, man. She ain't right, bro. Don't marry my daughter, man. She ain't right. I'm telling you. Any woman that's willing to move into a man's house within 2 fucking weeks of meeting that man, there's something ain't right about that woman. You gotta second guess it." That's what he told my dad, and my dad said, "I don't know what the hell he's talking about, yo. I'm the last of the Mohicans. She know a good man when she sees one." He told me that. He just didn't have it right, man. I told him, I said something ain't right about her, man. Everyone kept telling him. Then the whole family started to catch on. My brothers and sisters, aunts, uncles, everyone, all my whole family started to say, "No, something ain't right with her, yo. Something just ain't right." It wasn't nothing that she was really doing. She wasn't doing or saying nothing. It was the vibes. We all knew. You heard me? Things started to happen, bro. One day she actually used my toothbrush to clean shit off of my little nephew stepped in dog poop, and she actually used my toothbrush to clean it. I came home from work, my intuition told me that that's exactly what happened. And so I threw my toothbrush in the trash, in the bathroom. I threw it in the trash and went in the room and told my sister, I said, yo, where's little Randy's shoes at? She said, oh, Cookie cleaned the poop off of them. They're right here. I said, wow, really? I said, guess what? She used my toothbrush to do it. She was like, what? I'm like, look, come on. I went to go get my toothbrush out the trash. It was gone. The whole trash was empty. So I said, oh shit, this bitch was listening. This demon was listening. I said, wow. So I went outside to go through the dumpster and I found the trash bag. I found the trash bag from the bathroom trash, but no toothbrush. She really confiscated the evidence. And so I let it be known, I let it be heard. I'm on to you. And it was like one of those Lifetime movies where you just couldn't prove it. Like she knew that we were on to her, but it's like you couldn't, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? My dad was blinded. She had this nigga pussy whipped and spellbound. So it's like, what could I do? You needed hard evidence, hard proof. Because my dad was such under a heavy spell and she knew it. Okay? And she would do little slick shit like unplug the computer so you couldn't go on there. Little stuff. My dad played oblivious to it all. This bastard knew everything that was going on. So you know what he did? He ran away with this bitch. He moved down south with her and got completely away from his whole entire family. And down there, he died within 3 years. The nigga was dead within 3 years. And now nobody gets nothing. This dude had a van, a truck, like 2 cars, 3 motorcycles, 3 4-wheelers, a fucking mini bike. This dude had all kind of stuff, Big ass bank account. So now she's down there living in my grandpa's house. She has all of the land, and I'm not gonna say that I give a damn. I mean, it is what it is, but this is just, it just is what it is, you heard? Okay? Before my dad moved down there with her, I tried to have a conversation with my dad. I told him, I said, listen, I don't like your wife and she don't like me, bro. I said, she had an issue with me. I never did nothing towards her. I said, but I can sit here and tell you. You never want to listen. I said, but I can sit here and tell you what she did to me. He said, like what? I said, well, for instance, she used my toothbrush to clean shit off her shoe. But here's the thing. He already heard about it because he really didn't want to hear it. He said, yo, people change. He said, he didn't doubt it. He didn't doubt it. Put it that way. He didn't deny it. He said, people change. People change. I'm like, yo, fuck that. She used my toothbrush to clean shit. She used to do all kinds of slick, devious shit behind my back. He said, yo, man, people change. And how dare you tell me how you feel about my wife? He said, if this would have been a few years ago, me and you would have won a couple rounds. He said, if it would have been 15 years ago, I would have killed you. This is the same dude that 1 year prior to me and him having this conversation, I've been stopped going around, but one day they're having a party at my dad's house. And I went over to attend this party, cookout. And in the kitchen was that bitch. Her name's Cookie, that hoe, was in the kitchen. And she was flirting with some of the dudes from the neighborhood who I grew up around. Who, you know, friends of the family, sort of. And, younger dudes, like in their 30s. They were flirting with my dad's girl in the kitchen. When my dad's outside, oblivious to what's going on, these niggas is in their kitchen, right in front of me, saying to her, what kind of cookie are you? You a chocolate chip cookie? She's smiling and flirting. And the other dude's like, nah, she's a peanut butter cookie. The other nigga's like, nah, she's a caramel cookie. And I'm like, yo, hold the fuck up. I'm like, cut this bullshit the fuck out. I said, you should be ashamed, to her. And the nigga looks at me and says, nigga, what, you wanna take this shit outside? I said, nigga, come on, let's go. You ain't gonna disrespect in my dad's house, let's go. And so everybody comes running in the house and I'm like, yo, what's going on? My dad comes straight up to me because I'm heated. I'm like, bring your bitch ass outside, let's go. My dad comes into me and runs straight up to me and says, yo, don't come to my house and bring no bullshit in my house. Get the hell out of my house with that shit. Don't bring no bullshit to my house. I said, yo, I ain't bring no bullshit to your house. I said, these niggas is disrespecting your woman right in your motherfucking house, in your kitchen, right in front of my face. Yo, you know what that nigga did after I explained to him what happened? Nothing. That's what he did. Nothing. He didn't say nothing. He didn't do nothing. He didn't utter a fucking word. I sat there and looked like the bad guy for trying to stick up for this weak-hearted ass individual. I lost all respect for that bastard. All respect. And I've been lost respect anyway, because as soon as my grandpop died, this nigga 2 weeks later went and moved into my grandpop's home. He's not the only sibling, bro. I got an aunt. I got 2 aunts. There's 2 aunts and there's my dad. It was a family of 3. As soon as my grandpop died, he put my grandmom in a nursing home and started taking everything from them. He didn't live another 3 years after he started doing that shit. Once he took his south and reserved his south, he built the cocoon around him and that woman. And that was his downfall. Now the man's gone. He's dead. He's been dead for about 2, almost 3 months now. And I know he's sorry, because on his deathbed, I wasn't there. My brothers and sisters was there. And my brother told me that he just kept saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He just kept saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And he tried to give them a little advice. He tried to tell them that I had my head on my shoulders. He told me that he sees me a lot in my dreams, and that I'm gonna be all right. I'm making the right decisions in life. I guess he tried to hint to them to follow after me, but they hard-headed and I don't fuck with them. And so there's just a little brief little story, man, about the Jezebels in my life that my dad chose to deal with. The Jezebels in my life that my dad chose to have relations with. It was a rough, rocky road. And to be honest with you, when I think about it, I really feel bad for the man, because he had a lot of potential. He had a lot of potential, but he was the kind of guy that he was more loyal to a woman. And he wasn't even that loyal, because the nigga would cheat and all that. He would cheat. He would cheat on a woman silly, but then act like he's willing to die for her and kill any one of his family members if they bat an eye to this woman wrong. He would literally pull a gun out on you, do some stupid shit. So this nigga, he was a sucker for love. He was a major sucker for love, put it that way. Like, a woman was his god. He go hard for a fucking woman, yo. I mean, he didn't see nothing. I mean, whoever was sucking his penis and having sexual intercourse with him, he said, here, take my soul. You can have it. You can have it. And so yeah, man. It's just a little brief story about the Jezebels that I happened to encounter in my, involving my dad's love life. And then I went on to, deal with Jezebels in my own personal life too. I had children with Jezebels. And I can honestly sit here and say, before I conclude this video, I can honestly sit here and say that I believe that most women are wicked. I truly believe that most women in this earth are wicked. And once you fall in love with one, that's the worst fucking mistake that you ever could have made. And you then gave her your power. It's the worst thing you can fucking do. If you feel the same way and you have a daughter, then you best try your hardest to raise that girl to be an Israelite, God-fearing woman, not some Jezebel, energy harvesting, bitch. I'm telling you. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that listen, everybody wants to be loved. Everyone wants to be loved, cherished, and cared after. But some people, most women, in my opinion, take that and they run with it. They'll grab you by the fucking balls and take off running full speed down the valley of the shadow of death. Just banging your head, dinging you off the walls of the valley of the shadow of death. If you gain some footing again, and you start to gain love back, because that's what it takes. It takes for you to gain love back on your own, because you got to start walking on your own too again. You got to start to learn how to function on your own again. And once you do, then you get stronger. You literally do get stronger. You become like strong as fuck. You become fierce than a motherfucker. And these women want you. When you're single and strong like that, they want to be the one. They want to be the one. But as soon as they gain that position, that spot of being that one in your life, and they know that this person loves me, this nigga can't live without me, he'll die for me, that's when they start to disrespect you. That's when they start to pour strings on your life. That's when they have the power to remove people out of your life, put people in. That's when they have the power to take away your hobbies and take up all of your time and interest and all types of things. And that's why in the Bible you will see that the Bible refers to women as the epitome of what evil is. The Bible refers to women being evil itself. Okay? And you have to understand that anything that can take your interest off of the Most High, God, has to be evil. What happened in the garden? The Most High told Adam, don't do this and don't do that, and don't allow her to do it neither. So Adam went over and told Eve, he said, listen, the Most High instructed us to not eat from the fruit, not knowledge of good and evil. And she went ahead and fucking did it any goddamn way. And then she went and gave some to him. And he fucking ate, and he ate it because she offered it to him. Him knowing better, he still did it, trying to protect her interests. Okay? Right then and there was when the Most High said, well, goddamn, this is how much of a negative influence and a negative impact that this woman actually has on my servant, who I created. And so he labeled her the epitome of evil. Okay? Because even the serpent didn't get Adam to go against the Most High like that. Even the serpent didn't do it. He had to go through the woman and get the woman to do it. Do you see how deep this is? So everybody's worrying about the serpent, the devil, Satan. You better look at that bitch. Excuse my language, but you better look at that woman in your life. You better look at these women running around here prancing the fuck around. That's who Satan is using, these women. He's been using her since the beginning of time. He's still using her today. Okay, so while you're sitting there looking at white people and Chinese people and trying to identify Satan, nigga, you better look at these women. Okay? Satan is operating through these women. And you're following these women trying to protect their interests. The Most High told me straight up. He said, if you keep trying to protect the interests of a woman, you're going to lose your protection. He told me that. Okay, you know what the Most High also told me? He told me to don't worry about the interests of a woman if she's on the same page as me or not. He said, you just stay on the page that I put you on. You know what he said? Word for word. Here's it, word for word. He said, you need not contend with what she's interested in. He said, you need to worry about the interest that I put on you and worry about the children. With that being said, y'all take it easy. Stay safe. Stand clear of any simple ass nigga that acts funny around women that changes up around women, that's pussy whipped by these goddamn women. I don't care if it's your grandpa, your dad, your uncle. I don't care if it's your pastor. Any nigga that's pussy whipped behind any woman, staying clear of that nigga. He's on a path to destruction, and you can get hurt dealing with this dude. Believe me. Take it easy. Peace.